my name is Brian. That is Shane, and this is the Popcast Unleashed, baby, live show. We do it once a week, and if you haven't seen it before, basically, we go through a bunch of amazing news topics that we thought up over the week. We look at some cool video of the weeks that we drummed up off of various sources. We talk about our day. We talk about pop culture and Star Trek and science fiction and all kinds of fun topics. We usually disagree, and then we go back to the next article, and we talk about the next one, and then we talk to you guys on the live chat. Shane, how you doing, brother?
I am doing okay. It is Sunday afternoon, and we got to figure out how to get these things going on Fridays, I think. Or maybe it's a nice Sunday to break it up for people. I don't know. Doing good though. It's been a crazy week. I was camping with my family, which was great spending time with him, but a whole heck of a lot of work for Dad. That's just kind of how that works. But it's good to be back here and talking about pop culture in our happy place. So
yeah, I thought it was funny how you're like, by the way, everybody, say happy birthday to Shane, because a couple days ago it was his 36th birthday.
Nice, dude. Thank you.
You like that? You like that? I know you did. Actually, he's 73.
I'm looking good. I'm looking good for 73.
And it was funny. I'm like, what are you doing for your birthday? He's like, oh, I'm going camping. I'm like, that doesn't sound like something you want to do for your birthday. But I'm glad you had a good time, my dude.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It was good. I'm over camping though. I don't want to do it for quite some time now. So yeah, doing it twice in 1 month is like overkill.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. All right. So, what are we talking about today? Well, I'll tell you. We're talking about. Hold up, I lost my page.
Yeah. Look, I'm still doing an old school. Look, I still writing.
Oh God, you have pens? I haven't seen a pen in like 6 years.
I still write it down.
All right, this is what we're talking about today. Remember, there are 2 parts to our stream. The full stream you can find over on our Popcast Prime channel. And if you don't know where that is, you can just go to youtube.com/thepopcast or popcast.co, and you will find us. However, half the video will be right here, and the full stream is over there. What we're talking about today is Shazam 2. The director politely pointing out that the movie is still in production.
I love how they use that word politely. That's going to be interesting to talk about.
The Boys Season 3, a new Halo TV series, Katherine Zeta-Jones playing Morticia, which I'm excited about just because seeing Katherine Zeta-Jones in Morticia cosplay is worth the movie.
It's a TV show, but yeah.
The TV show, I don't care.
Yeah.
We're talking about our Borg video that we dropped yesterday. It's doing really well. People are responding in ways.
And
we're going to be talking about that, a little behind the scenes there. Also, over on the members section, we're talking about the Matrix Resurrections trailer. By the way, we called the title of this movie like 6 months ago. Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Just breaking records. Ghostbusters Afterlife early reactions. I'm loving that. John Cena in Peacemaker.
Dun, dun, dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun, and the Batman 2022, which I feel like I should be way more excited about, but we'll get into that more.
Oh, we have the same feeling. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, okay. I feel like I should be super excited about it, but I'm like, what?
Yeah, I got some thoughts on that one.
Yeah, so that's what we're going over. And don't forget, we got the video of the day. But before we do all that stuff, I wanted to say thank you for watching. And if you're a supporter, thank you for supporting. But the few people that do watch this show, you're the reason we do it, my friends. Please don't forget that.
That's right.
All right. I forgot. Do we do the video of the day here or on the other side? It's the other side, right?
It's the other side.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm sorry, guys. If you
teased it, that's kind of funny.
My bad. I wasn't trying to tease it, but
If you want to watch the video of the day, you got to be a member.
All right, so let's jump right into it, shall we, Shane? Unless you got some more thoughts.
No, I mean, pretty much that's where we're at. There's a lot of things to talk about, but let's just jump right into. Oh, David Chilson has a. That's David there. You've been watching Lower Decks, right?
Yes, yes, I watched the first 2 episodes so far of this season.
All right, well, tell David what do you think of it? Because I haven't seen it yet.
It's a cool cartoon. Doesn't really feel like Star Trek. I know it's Star Trek. I know it's set in the Star Trek universe, which is cool. But it doesn't really feel like Star Trek. Okay. I know people disagree with me on this, but it feels like not Star Trek. It feels like a cool cartoon that licensed the Star Trek universe.
Is it safe to watch with the kids or no?
Yeah, I thought it would be more adult. It's not. Yeah. Nothing adult about it. I mean, there's a couple like maybe, but nah. Like this. In fact, it's opened up with like them. For the first time, we saw what all the lower deck people use as like showers, and basically it's a giant like the gymnasium. You played football when you leave the field and you're going into the locker room, and all the showers are like
big open bay.
Yeah, big open bay of showers. They also do the same thing in the military or in prison.
Somewhat close sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same concept, but they're all like the vibrational sonic showers. And so they're all walking in there to take showers, I guess, in the same together for some reason. Because while officers have like the private sonic showers, the lower decks all shower in the same.
Is it a la Starship Troopers?
Yes, but it was weird the way they did it. Like they didn't blur it out, but they made it so like the sonic shower is like vibrating their bodies, so you can't actually see anything. It's sort of interesting. I mean, I guess it makes sense that like obviously the whole ship doesn't have private showers, right?
Right.
And they don't have private rooms. So the lower deck people sleep in like bunk beds, a la like the Navy. And they shower in like the sonic shower bay, and it makes sense. One thing I like about it is that regular Star Trek, you never get to see like the living conditions for like the regular crewmates.
Well, let me be clear though. In the Navy, which Starfleet is basically the Navy in space. In the Navy, everybody does have their individual showers. It's only during boot camp where everybody has to shower together. Once you're like on a ship, you have an individual little shower to shower in, no matter what your rank is.
Oh, so you have your own room?
You don't get your own room. No, you're in a berthing with sometimes 80 to 100 people. But
yeah, so that's like in lower decks, like they sleep in like the hallway alcoves.
Yeah. Okay. Submarines are like that.
Like submarines. Yeah.
Yeah. In a submarine, it's like that. You sleep sometimes on the torpedoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Although I would really like to see what a sonic shower would be like. Yeah. Riker was pretty good. I agree. Riker is in it, and he has like this, his character is very like, let's shoot them all up. And one of the characters is like stressing out because he wanted to be on Riker's ship. But Riker's way too like gung ho for him, It's interesting.
Right, so it's worth it. It's palatable. It's good for a cartoon.
Yeah, there is some adult stuff. Like they're talking about Badgie. I guess Badgie is sort of adult. I hated Badgie. Like I hated him. In fact, Jeremy Snyder's one that pointed out to me that Badgie was like a hologram or something. I forgot. It doesn't matter. It just seems so cartoonish to me, but it's fine. If you like it, it's cool.
Let me just tell Gray here. Yeah, on a ship, he says on a ship you have your own shower. Well, yeah. So basically, you got a berthing where you got like probably 80 dudes all living in the same berthing, and you have a bathroom that you share. It has usually like 3 or 4 stalls to go to the bath, to take a piss, and then a couple of toilets, and then it also has like 2 showers. So yeah, but they're private. You don't have to Yeah, boot camp was terrible. In boot camp, everybody had to take a shower together. They took the doors off the stalls, so when you sat down on the toilets, people walking by could just see you taking a.
Yeah, when I was also in the military, I was in the army, and it was the same way in boot camp. There were doors on the stalls in the bathrooms, but only so that the people going to the bathroom couldn't see each other. There was no front doors.
Right. Yeah, there's the sides, but no front. So anybody walking across in front of you. So I always chose to use the restroom when less people were around because it was awkward.
That's why I loved volunteering for fire watch and to clean the floors at night, because you got some extra time in the morning to get up. You got a little extra time at night to go to sleep, because you're going to be up most of the night doing duties, but that's when you got to use the restroom and shower by yourself.
That's true.
Yeah. Good. All right, so the first thing we're talking about today, and this is a great segue, we're talking about our Borg video.
Oh, yeah, this is fun. This is really fun.
Let's get into this real quick. So this is, if you haven't seen it, no, wrong one. Let me go back. Let me, Shane, you talk for a second. I'm going to fix this.
Yeah, so we've been doing really good, guys, staying on track with our Popcast Prime videos. If you're not familiar with Popcast Prime, that is the Popcast channel. This is the Popcast Unleashed, our live show. And then we've got our documentary style videos that we do on Popcast on our regular, the Popcast channel. And what's cool is we've been really on track lately. About every 2 weeks, we're getting a video out, hopefully good quality, and you guys are enjoying it. This time we started doing some stuff with Picard season 2 and specifically Q. And while doing research for it, we came across this Borg paradox, basically. And it's something that we were familiar with, that we knew about, but we never really thought about it. It's like, not really like as it being a paradox. But the more and more we looked at it, we realized that it was actually a bootstrap paradox, where when Q threw the Enterprise into the Beta Quadrant and into the way of the Borg cube, it started a whole trail that essentially ended up getting the Borg to go back in time during Star Trek First Contact, and causing then some drones to be left behind. And then a couple hundred years later, they sent a message to the Delta Quadrant. So anyways, they couldn't have sent that message to the Delta Quadrant, which then sent that cube in the direction of humanity without Q have throwing Picard and the Enterprise in its way in the first place. That's the paradox.
Right. And I gotta say, okay, so that's the paradox roughly.
Right.
And there was some comments where they're like, okay, wait a minute. It wasn't the Beta Quadrant, it was the Delta Quadrant. Okay, well.
Yes.
It was the Beta Quadrant. There's a couple miscommunications about what it was, but it was the Beta Quadrant. Secondly, they go, well, what if it was just a random scout ship in the Beta Quadrant? Okay. When I brought this up to Shane too, and I said, Shane, what if it was just a random scout ship in the Beta Quadrant? And Shane, what did you say? Sure, yeah, that makes sense. Except for, then why would they even send the message in Enterprise back to the Delta Quadrant to be delivered exactly 200 years after the fact, which is the perfect time for that ship to eventually, to saunter into the Beta Quadrant on the way to the Alpha Quadrant. So
yeah, that's the problem. Everything kind of lines up, and it's like they did it on purpose. Now, this is not us creating this. This is Star Trek producers and writers, especially on Enterprise, basically closing this loop. And as I tried to explain to some people, there's some people who really feel like they understand and they have it figured out. And I'm not saying that we know everything, but we do a lot of research before we do these videos, and we make sure that we're as right as we can possibly be. And there are some assumptions that are taken. So in this paradox, we are assuming that the message sent to the Delta Quadrant was received, and that put the Borg cube in motion to use the transwarp conduits to start heading towards humanity, basically.
Right.
And then Picard meeting them earlier than they were supposed to, then put them on a direct course. So then once they met the Enterprise, according to Guinan said, hey, once they know who you are, they're coming for you.
Right.
So essentially what we assumed based on what they've told us is that the Borg is now going to chase tail, or basically follow the Enterprise back to where it came from, or where they believe it came from. And it starts everything in motion. So what we do know is that initially when Star Trek created the Borg, I don't believe that they knew that they came from the Delta Quadrant. This is something I would love to confirm with the people who came up with it, because the Borg, later on, when they decided to do Voyager, there was this sudden tie to try to get the Borg into the Delta Quadrant. That's why First Contact, they confirmed for the first time in the movie First Contact that the Borg come from the Delta Quadrant. And just prior to that, one of the Star Trek journals came out with a map that actually showed the Borg in the Delta Quadrant. But it's not really ever discussed before that. So I think it's something that they kind of hatched up to give Voyager a foe that we're familiar with.
Right. And I think the Enterprise people hatched up their, connection to the Borg to try to also get legitimacy with Star Trek fans. I think it was the same concept.
I think so. And I just don't know why T'Pol says, the message is going to take 200 years to get to the Delta Quadrant, which just happens to line up with just prior to Picard's meeting with the Borg, giving the Borg enough time to get to the Beta Quadrant using those transwarp conduits to meet Picard. It's like they did it intentionally. And so our paradox works based on those thoughts. So anybody who's kind of saying, well, it's not really a paradox, or it's not a paradox, you guys are crazy, you're not doing your research. Well, the reality is we followed the exact route we were given by the creators. And so that, whether it is or it isn't a paradox, you do have to make that assumption that the message was received. But we make that assumption because they actually told us that that's essentially what was going to happen. Or, somebody argued, well, maybe they never got the message. And I'm like, well, then why did they send it in the first place?
Right. Why would they send the message if they weren't going to get the message?
Right. We don't know. I mean, it was ominous in that episode, Regeneration. That episode basically makes you feel like, oh, this is why the Borg know about us, or the Borg are heading in our direction in the first place. Didn't it give you that impression?
Right. Yes. Yeah. No, that they were definitely trying to do that. They were 100% trying to set in motion, almost make Enterprise look, like important. Like we're explaining why the Borg showed up in our space in the first place. Like it's like, buying legitimacy, and that's fine. But that's the paradox. And again, we didn't make it up. Like we're just following the path. We're just following the path that they wrote on. TNG started this, then First Contact, then Voyager, then Enterprise, and it's not all chronological, but if you put it in chronological order, there's a paradox.
Yeah, basically. And just thanks to Gray, who said he really loves our documentaries, some of his favorite content on YouTube. That means a lot to us. That's honestly why we do this. It takes a lot of time and effort, and to hear that kind of feedback, because a lot of people just want to, I don't know, complain or point out. They want to point you, they want to be the one that's right, or whatever it is. So Dave, right. Yeah. Nerd. Keep talking. So David Chilson here says, although I prefer they not do a true Borg origin story, I wonder where the Borg would have started from. Yeah, we did mention that it would be cool if it tied it to V'ger in our documentary. But the problem is that it probably doesn't work without some weird time travel, because if the Borg are really hundreds of thousands of years old, like Guinan says, then it would be tough to tie it to V'ger from Star Trek the Motion Picture, unless it went through some sort of time portal or something. And I don't know, it would have to be something like that. They could do it. It would be kind of interesting, but it would be nice to know the origin of the Borg. I think it's something at some point somebody's going to have to do.
It'd be more time travel shenanigans, though.
100% it has to be, in order to make everything link up. Unfortunately, you've got different writers who wrote the scripts for these things. and they didn't necessarily communicate with each other or have this big plan for the Borg. And so we get these little kind of pieces of information that doesn't really link up properly, and it makes it difficult to create a strong timeline for them.
Right. You're right. All
So
right.
check out the video if you haven't seen it though, and let us know what you think.
Yeah. Yeah. If you disagree, it's okay. We can disagree. 100%. Just don't scream at us.
Yeah, and when we go to the members section, members only section, we'll talk more about the next video that's coming up, which is actually super interesting. And I think if you've liked the last 2 videos, you're really going to like this next video coming up.
Yeah, and it might be we might take a break from Star Trek after this next video. We'll see how it goes, because there's a bunch of other stuff coming up that we just frankly don't have time to do all the stuff we want to do. So we do it in sections. We go, okay, let's do a couple of these videos, then we're going to move on to this next IP. And there's a lot of stuff we want to do, and I don't want to get bogged down with doing nothing but Star Trek videos for the next seven months, you know.
Well, and also, you know, we want to go where the news is, where the information is. So, you know, really until Picard season 2 kicks up, or maybe even Strange New Worlds, there's not a whole lot more stuff that we could do. And we could do some old Star Trek stuff. Trust me, we've got content. I know a lot of it's been done, but we do have some interesting ideas. Like we have an idea of who Guinan actually is. That we'll probably do a video like that before Picard comes out.
Here's a little teaser. She's a tentacle monster.
What? That's not something we've talked about.
She is. Yep, and that's where all the hentai stuff comes from. Telling you. It's all time travel, remember?
Yeah, it's all time travel. Well, she was in the Matrix, or she was in the Nexus.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, great. We'll get into that during the member section. But thank you. There's a lot of stuff we're going to be covering soon. We are going to be doing Battlestar too, right?
At some point, we're going to do Battlestar Galactica. Got a whole thing set up for that. And we're going to ask you guys what kind of things you'd like us to cover, what kind of properties. Also, there's one other thing that we were going to do. Oh, shoot, I just drew a blank on it. But
Supernatural.
Well, I don't know. We're talking about Supernatural. We'll see where that goes. We definitely need to cover some people, you know, some actors who've done a lot of these shows.
Oh yeah, we have this whole Legend series we want to do, which it's so much work. It's fun, but it's a lot of effort. Okay, let's get on to the next story. We're talking about Shazam 2. Director politely pointing out that the movie is still filming. Shane, what's happening here, my dude?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I didn't know if this was a great news story when it first came out. I was kind of like, He politely points out, and I kept getting stuck on this word. Politely points out that the DCEU movie is still filming. The reason this is even a deal, director David F. Sandberg, he's responding to tweets claiming the sequel finished filming, letting fans know this is not true. Essentially, what started happening was some of the actors who were finishing their portion of the film started tweeting out basically that they were done.
Right.
And I guess enough people happened to do that it was starting to go around that indeed Shazam 2 was done. But the director stepped in to correct that and say, and here's what he said exactly.
Look at all.
Oh yeah, look at that.
This is great.
Yeah. So yeah, he says here, reading this while sitting on the set getting ready to shoot. Several of the actors have been wrapped, though, as we're close to being done. So basically he's confirming that some people have been done filming, but they're not finished yet. It's looked like it is coming soon though. Yeah.
Yeah. So remember, there's multiple parts to movies, so you don't just film the actors and you finish up. There's post-production, there's reshoots, there's graphics, then there's and after all that, there's editing, and then you have to go back, do more post-production, more reshoots, more editing.
But the initial shoot is, I think, what they're talking. You know, the initial shooting schedule. So it says here that it's likely that that more of the cast will officially wrap over the next coming days as the film prepares to enter, like you said, post-production, where all those things are going to occur.
Right. And I feel like even then, even if they get done with the initial shooting, there's so much more shooting that has to be done. So
Yeah,
close to being done is the correct term.
Yeah, and it's interesting. This isn't slated for release until 2023. So, I mean, when you think about that, that's like a year and a half away. That's a lot of work.
The director is David Sandberg.
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy. He only has 76,000 followers.
Well, okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like a Hollywood actor. Isn't he? Oh, yeah, he is.
He hasn't done.
I guess he hasn't done a lot. Yeah.
But if he keeps doing stuff like this, it's definitely going to come up.
He has a YouTube page.
What's interesting about Shazam? Oh, he does.
Yeah, and there's a Shazam 2 tease on it.
Okay.
Hold up, man.
All right.
Okay, hold up. All right. Well, let's look at this real quick. It's only 15 seconds. Sorry, I'm just following the path here. Here we go.
Why is it so dark? Probably would have been a good idea to have like one light on.
Huh.
That is on his personal YouTube page.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. So if you want some Shazam updates, I need to follow that guy.
Yeah. Pony Smasher on YouTube. Interesting.
So Shazam Fury of the Gods isn't releasing until 2023. And what's interesting is DC has all these other movies releasing in 2022, including The Batman, Black Adam, The Flash, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I have not seen anything on Black Adam. The fact that it's releasing in 2022 surprises me. So with Shazam coming after that, it's going to be interesting to see how DC does. And then this Shazam sequel, which we're looking forward to seeing.
Oh, yeah. I loved the first Shazam. Yeah, it was fantastic.
It was a lot of fun.
One of my favorites, for sure. One of my favorites, and I really wish they had gotten that Henry Cavill cameo, only so we could permanently tie Henry Cavill Superman to that wonderful little movie, but didn't happen. So
true,
but yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, let's keep an eye on that, and especially now that we know that there is an actual channel out there for the director. Yes, on YouTube channel. We should gotta subscribe to that bad boy. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on from this, and you guys, if you guys have any comments on that, let us know in the chat.
There is one other thing I should probably mention here. There is concern that if any of these other DC movies delay, that could push Shazam even further. So hopefully that doesn't.
Why is Shazam the redheaded stepchild here? I don't understand. It was one of the funner of the movies, but
it's not. Well, we'll yet to see what Black Adam does. But these are Justice League characters. Batman, Flash, Aquaman. These are Justice League. So that's why.
But the Batman is not even part of that universe in any way.
Well, it's not part of the universe we just saw, but it is Batman, or Batman's character is a Justice League character. It's a major DC character. Whereas Shazam is really a minor DC character.
But the new Batman coming out is not like, it's like the Joker with what's his name. It's just not that kind of. It's not a superhero movie per se.
It's still Batman, bro. It's still the character of Batman. You know what I mean? It's like Batman is besides Superman, it's Superman and Batman, two biggest DC heroes.
That's
so.
Bad.
Shazam was a nice little offshoot, and it's a fun movie, and Zachary Levi is incredible in it. Zachary Levi is so good in that movie and in Chuck. I'm going to go watch. He's got a movie coming out later at Christmas time coming out. It's the Kurt Warner story, where he plays basically. Kurt Warner was a football player, a quarterback who never thought he could make the NFL, ended up making the NFL and became a Hall of Famer. So Zach is playing that role, and I like him so much that I don't really care about Kurt Warner's story, but I want to see Zachary Levi play him.
Yeah, he's so fun. I'm so glad that I turned you on to Chuck. It's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about The Boys, season 3. And let me just be clear here. Shane cares nothing about this TV show. Every time I bring up The Boys, every time I send a link, every time I talk about it, he's like, okay. I mean, I guess, who cares? Because he's never seen it. If he went out of his way to actually watch the show instead of just glance at it from time to time, I think he would really like it. But, it's fine.
I'm in the wrong here. I know I'm in the wrong here. I know that I need to be watching it, but the problem is there's just so much to watch. It's hard to commit myself to anything, but just the fact that Carl Urban is in it.
That should be enough.
Should be enough for me to watch it, and yeah. So I will. I actually thought about it today. I'm like, I'm going to have to start watching this because I'm getting left behind pretty quickly.
It's a great show. If you haven't seen The Boys, let me break down the premise real quick. It's a superhero TV show about the Justice League if they were all actual regular people and douchebags.
So wait, do they start out as those kind of people, or does their superpowers eventually make them just full of themselves?
Well, there's a spoiler there, so I'm not gonna ruin it. But for the most part, if they're superheroes, they're superheroes, and they develop their abilities sometime in their teens. And the problem is they're regular people with regular wants and needs, and they're selfish, and they're regular people. But imagine a regular person with godlike abilities.
What you're saying is they don't have these, like, every superhero usually has these ideals, these kind of comic book ideals. I'm sorry. No, it's all right. So they usually superheroes like Superman and Batman, they usually have these kind of bigger ideals where, you know what I'm talking about. They're very optimistic.
Right. Yeah, they're optimistic, inspiring. They have this whole thing about righteousness.
Right.
Yeah, these people don't really have that. They
So it's more realistic. Like, let's say if somebody a regular person really got superpowers, this is probably what really would happen.
Yeah. They monetize their powers, and maybe they act cool, maybe they act like righteous Superman type characters on camera, but they're not. And it's very clear from the first episode. You think what you're watching is one thing, and then you see how realistic it is, and you're like, oh my God, these are regular people with godlike abilities. Almost like celebrities. Like they're treated like like they can do no wrong. Excuse me. They're treated like they can do no wrong. And they're treated like celebrities, like the extreme narcissist celebrities almost, with godlike abilities that can really no one can really tell them what to do. It's incredible. And the boys are basically a group of people that hate them so much they're trying to take them down in the eyes of the public. It's great. And that's what the boys are. The boys are like the guys that don't have superpowers.
Okay, got it. Yeah, the regular people who are trying to bring down the superheroes.
Right.
Okay.
Anyways, season 1 was fantastic. Season 2 was great. Season 3 is gonna drop soon, and it's looking good. In fact, our boy, one of my favorites, Jensen Ackles, is actually gonna be playing a sort of a Captain America type character. And if you look here we go. See that? See that picture right there? Yeah. That is Jensen Ackles. It's a painting of Jensen Ackles. Half of his face is regular, and half of his face is demonic because that's my Demon Dean painting. It's one of my.
That's cool.
It's one of my most prized possessions.
Yeah, that should be interesting. Now it's saying here that they think that The Boys season 3 will release sometime in late this year or early 2022. So we're still within 4 to 6 months of there probably being a release for the next season on Amazon Prime.
Right. So what do we got here going here? We go, that was a weird mouth teaser. I'm sorry. So what we know about the casting and the film updates is Jensen Ackles is going to be playing this sort of Captain America type character that was actually lost in like the 50s or 60s, right?
Oh, like Captain.
Right, but you know how Captain America gets frozen in time or whatever.
Right. He's frozen.
What?
Yeah, he's frozen.
Yeah, something like that. But basically, it's all based on a comic book, and if you look at the actual comic book that was based on, the character that he's probably playing, he might be playing the son of that character, he might be playing that actual character, and he's just, immortal.
Okay.
And this character here, Soldier Boy.
So, oh, I can't. I think of the rapper when I hear that.
The point is also, remember, the point of their names is to be ridiculous, because that's what comic book character names are, stupid.
Right. That's
like
true.
One of the characters' names is the Deep.
The Deep,
and he's basically like
what is he, a poet?
He's like an Aquaman type character, but he's like a pervert. So he's like he can like go to the deep sea, and then you find out in the show that there's a downside to being able to be Aquaman, in that he has gills, but they're like on the side of his body, and
Oh, okay. No, that's weird.
and he's just the whole group sort of treats him like a joke, because if you remember the original Justice League, Aquaman was sort of a joke hero. Like, uh oh,
I liked him.
You're on ocean. What are you gonna do, bro? You gonna call dolphins?
Hey, he was super powerful on the ocean, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
But we're not in the ocean. What now, Aquaman?
Just
Yeah. Now let me tell you something. Jason Momoa changed that entire idea, because
he was powerful even out of the ocean. So
they got someone who you could not make fun of, regardless of where on Earth you were.
yes, it was tough with the blonde-haired guy with the great hair who jumped in the water and came out, and his hair was still perfect. So
yeah, this character plays this character plays Starlight. She's like the new character in the very first episode. Like, this is the character you're following, and she's gonna be sort of inducted into the Seven, which is like the top premier league of superheroes, right? And they want it, and so you get this publicist, and they get this whole crew of people that are gonna announce her and show her off to the world as the new superhero in the Justice League, or the Seven, right?
okay,
But they totally oversex her costume, her hair. They change everything. So they're basically just like celebrities on a reality show, and they do some good in the world. But most of it is just them being dickheads. It's great. It's great.
all right. Well, so season 3 is going to have a total of 8 episodes. What's with all? I got to ask you, what is with all these shows doing less and less episodes? Are we ever going to get back to 26 episode seasons?
Yeah, I missed that.
Right.
I just got done watching Supernatural, and this guy, it's 22 episode seasons, and how many episodes? And they did 15 seasons, bro. This
now
is
it's
Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy, by the way.
Oh, it looks different.
Yeah.
So now, it's like 10, 12 episodes typically. I don't know. It's just less content. Maybe because there's so much out there to watch or so much to do. They're doing less of it, but I kind of miss getting more content. So if I really like The Boys, I'm getting 8 episodes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of not cool.
Yeah. Now this show is like, every episode is, like a movie, so it's okay probably. But you're right.
More than an hour?
What's that?
More than an hour?
No, it's about an hour.
So it's about an hour.
But
Okay,
but I'm saying the production quality is movie.
Right, because a TV show hour-long episode would be about 40
minutes.
Yeah. So you're actually getting a full hour with the Amazon videos?
Yeah, roughly 53 minutes or so. I think I could be wrong.
Okay, so maybe that's it. They're a little
Feels
bit
like an hour.
Got it. So more like mini movies. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but if you haven't seen The Boys, and you're over 18, you should go check it out.
Yeah, a couple of the episodes they're going to have are called Payback, the ones they know of. It's called Payback, and here's one, Herogasm. Wonder what that one's going to be about.
Yeah, Mother's Milk. Oh my God! If you had seen the show, that was so creepy.
Really?
The Superman character, the guy who has like the most godlike abilities, has this weird infatuation with like breastfeeding, and
Oh,
it's just so fucking weird. But this guy is basically a god, and he is a complete psychopath. And when you realize that, you're like, oh my god. He's like on the roof of a building overlooking the city, just like jerking off because he can do whatever he wants.
wow. Well, this is interesting. There's a little thing here that says the Boys showrunner says season 3's premiere is the craziest thing we've ever done. So I wonder what that is going to be.
They've done some crazy stuff too. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? By the way, Gray's right. That show Invincible is like,
What?
When his dad beats the crap out of him, it's a cartoon, but it's adult.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's very adult.
Gotcha.
Right, let's move on. Oh, it looks like Midnight's Edge After Dark's in the chat. What's up, bros? Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the Halo TV series because this came out of nowhere. So many things like popping up. I mean, I didn't know about it, and I was a big Halo fan back in the day.
Well, I mean, you didn't know about it right now, but I mean, they announced the dang thing in 2013.
Oh yeah, that's not the same project though. It can't be.
Same project, bro.
What?
Yeah, it's just taken them this long.
Okay, wait, guys. This is never coming out.
No, I mean, I think it really is.
How, dude? In 2013, Paramount Plus wasn't even a glimmer in the in the eyes of the studio execs at Paramount or CBS. CBS All Access wasn't even an idea in 2013.
It was Showtime. Okay, so yeah, so what's going on here is, I love this headline. Everything you need to know. Halo TV series on Paramount Plus.
Everything you need to know.
The series has been a long time in coming, but Master Chief will soon be fighting on a weekly basis. So if you're a Halo fan, this is what you've been waiting for. I have played Halo a couple times. My kids played a lot more than I do, and it was an interesting game. I liked Master Chief's character.
I've been playing Halo since I was like 19.
Okay,
right.
So you know a lot about it.
Yeah, easily 20 years of playing Halo. Here's the deal, guys. This would have been fantastic when I was in my 20s to watch.
Now that you're 56, it's like
now that I'm 40, and they've been talking about doing either a Halo TV show or a Halo movie since I was 19. I'm not gonna hold my breath. I'll tell you this: my first YouTube channel, and you could probably find it somewhere. I'm not joking. I'm not sure where it is, but there's a YouTube channel out there, my very first one. And the first video I put up was a spec Halo movie trailer.
Okay.
I made a movie trailer for Halo the movie, and I took clips from, it took me months, clips from all these different little spots, little graphics, and did all kinds of work. Dude, I got like 100,000 views in that thing over a period of like 10 years because so many people, and the channel has like 24 subscribers because so many people wanted some kind of Halo content. But I don't know who is sitting on their hands, but I think the time has passed, guys, because Halo used to be a $2 billion game where every single Halo game that came out made $2 billion, right?
Right.
Now most people are like, yeah, I remember playing Halo. It was sort of cool.
Well, that's why capitalizing on might be a good thing. So it was one of the biggest video game franchises. It is one of the biggest video game franchises of all time. And in 2022, this is what it says: after nearly 9 years in development, Microsoft's Halo games will finally be turned into live-action Halo TV series to be shown on the Paramount Plus streaming service. So it's happening. There's an actor in place to play Master Chief, and it's if it's releasing in 2022, guess what? They're already working on it. So this thing's
what I'm worried about. This is what I think happened for years. What I think happened for years was that and then this is a total theory, but people wanted to make a Halo movie or Halo TV shows like on Showtime, and they would bring scripts to Microsoft, and Microsoft, being Microsoft, were like, oh, wait a minute. This is, this, we don't want a bad movie to screw up our games. And so every script or every project just probably wasn't good enough because they don't want to mess up their $2 billion a year in revenue. And then fast forward 22 years, and now they're not making $2 billion a year in revenue, Paramount Plus offers them a few $1 million. They're like, yeah, do whatever you want.
Well, yeah, of course that's how it works. World of Warcraft was crazy for doing a World of Warcraft movie when it was at its height, because there's no way it could live up to the expectation of the game.
Well, there is if you actually did it right. If you got the right writers and the right directors, you stayed out of their way. We know good movies can be made out of games.
Right, but you would have had to spend a lot of money. Somebody would have to take a big gamble on that. Now, the thing with Halo, what's cool about Halo is that there's one main character that they can focus on. Unlike something like World of Warcraft, where you have all of these different races, all of these different alignments, all of these different, worlds or sections.
I disagree. Why are you not making a Warcraft movie and focusing on Prince Avernus or the Lich King? Focus on the characters that have been around since Warcraft 2, then Warcraft 3, then focus on these characters that are so embedded in Warcraft mythology and make a movie about them.
Well, you could, but they didn't follow those characters extraordinarily deeply in the World of Warcraft online mobile, game.
But they did in Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, which is what World of Warcraft's based on.
Right, but they didn't follow those characters. The Lich King they did later on in the series, but they didn't actually take it through World of Warcraft. Those characters weren't prevalent, unfortunately. So the players, in order to get people to buy off on it, you need to have them buy, and that's what Master Chief is doing for Halo. Everybody knows who Master Chief is.
That's true.
He's an easy hero to get around and to follow on a journey. So this is happening. Like, I know you say, well, it's not going to happen. It's going to happen if they're planning to release in 2022. Because, and they wouldn't be saying 2022. They'd be saying like 2020, 2023 if this wasn't going forward. And to be honest with you, Paramount Plus could use more content, frankly speaking.
Yeah, this number right here is a lie. This $4.99 at Paramount Plus, that's not real.
Isn't that for
that's for the ad? That's for the ad version, and you don't actually get to watch any movies or original content.
That's true, but it is, well, it's like everything else. You give the lowest price, when you get there, you realize you got to pay more.
Paramount Plus is a joke, man. I'm not sure why they still even have that service. Although that movie Infinite was with Mark Wahlberg was not bad. It was a pretty good sci-fi film. For something that it was original film that I wasn't expecting to actually happen. So, I had fun with it. Obviously, Mark Wahlberg might not be the guy to put as this like high-tech immortal being or whatever, but it was a fun watch. It was original. It wasn't based on anything. And I had no idea what was happening. I just turned on Paramount Plus one day and saw a big banner ad for this science fiction time travel thing. I'm like, oh, sweet. Click.
Okay. So it says here that Showtime finally greenlit the series in 2018 for a 10-episode first season. So they've been working on this for a while. Originally, the television series was supposed to have Steven Spielberg as one of his executive producers. So a lot has changed over the time. Production finally began in October 2019 in Hungary. However, the COVID-19 epidemic caused the Halo TV series to shut down production in March 2020 after 5 episodes were complete. The other 4 episodes, along with reshoots, began production once again later in 2021, but in Ontario, Canada. So stuff's in the can, bro. It's coming.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm remembering is Halo is it's based on that the Halo concept is based on Larry Niven's book Ringworld.
Yes.
Right? And there wasn't a main character in that book. So it's almost like they go, oh, okay, let's take this book that's about this world and let's throw an actual character into it, which made sense.
Yeah, because the player needed, every great game has a main character that you play, usually.
They never showed They never showed his face, right? That was genius. They've never shown Master Chief's face.
Well, the role of Master Chief is going to be handled by acting veteran actor Pablo Schreiber.
Is that this guy right here? It says John on his trailer. Isn't Master Chief's name John?
Scroll down a little further. You'll see it. There he is. He's been in some movies. He was in supporting roles like The Wire, Weeds, American Gods, Defending Jacob, and Orange is the New Black. He's also been in some movies, Den of Thieves, Skyscraper, and First Man. None of this stuff that I'm, hugely in love with. I read American Gods, but I haven't seen the TV series.
I saw the series. It's okay.
So, I don't know how good he's going to be, but he's going to have his gear on most of the time. So hopefully we won't have to worry about looking at him.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So here it is. He's handling the voice of Master Chief in the series.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's cool, I guess.
I don't know. If you love Halo, this is going to be a cool thing to watch.
I used to love Halo.
Even if you used to love Halo, it's probably going to be cool.
Yeah, but I do not feel like, I remember when they first announced this, not in 2013, like in 2005, I was excited, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, okay, cool. Okay, cool, I guess. I don't know. I feel like they're going to screw it up. That's what I feel like. I feel like it's going to be screwed up. I feel like they're not taking it seriously.
It's going to be hard.
It's going to be a series on Paramount Plus. For the love of God, what can you do? It's
hard to screw it up, though, honestly, because I think the expectation is pretty low. Right?
Yeah, that's true. My expectations are super low.
Right. So
I just looked at this guy's Twitter page too, and just like the first 5 posts, I'm like, oh, this guy. Okay, here we go. I don't even want to click on it. Go check out his Twitter page, guys. He's typical celebrity. So we'll see how it goes.
There's a bunch of people here on IMDb that honestly I've never heard of them. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I want to be more excited about it because I was a massive fan of Halo. And maybe when we see trailers, maybe I will be. I don't know. I wasn't very excited about the Spider-Man movie, and then I saw the trailer and I was like,
oh yeah,
holy freaking shirt, Batman.
We're going to talk about that during the member
We're going to talk about that in the member stream. Oh my God, it was wow. Okay, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have one more story during the live section. Okay, let's move on from Halo. Any cool comments? No. What's up, boys? All right, let's talk about Katherine Zeta-Jones going to be Morticia. Now, this is so interesting to me because didn't we just talk about what's the other one?
We just talked about the Munsters.
The Munsters, okay?
Yeah.
And now for sure they're doing a Addams Family spinoff or something.
Yeah, I'm going to disappoint you big time.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. I'm sorry.
And it's coming okay, wait a minute. Look at this, Shane. It's coming from Tim Burton to Netflix.
Yeah, I'm going to disappoint you though.
Addams Family live action series coming to Netflix from motherfucking Tim Burton.
Tim Burton, the man, the master. Yep.
Oh, right. And it's based on the character Wednesday Addams.
Yes. Now you're getting there. I love how you're like whole face cheering.
Oh, no. It's like a CW thing.
It's going to be a CW. Now, I will say give Tim Burton credit. He doesn't generally go that direction. But I believe Riverdale is having a huge impact.
Oh, it's like Riverdale or Sabrina, which was a Netflix thing.
Yes. So here, let's talk about it.
Oh.
Tim Burton's. It's the show. The TV series is actually called Wednesday. It's not the Addams Family. It's Wednesday because it's focusing on the daughter, who is a very popular character in the series, being played by Jenna Ortega, who has a very Wednesday look about her. This is teenage.
Wait. I need to look her up now. Wait a minute.
This is teenage Wednesday Addams, not child Wednesday Addams. By
What's
the
her
way,
name?
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega. What is up with this article? This article sucks.
What's that?
I have the wrong article up here or something.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, she is. Let's see. She's 19 years old. She's been in. Let's see. She was in. Looks like she was Stuck in the Middle TV series, Disney TV series.
Stuck in the Middle with you, dude. She goes to the Nevermore Academy. Jeez.
She was in Iron Man 3. She was the vice president's daughter.
Any more LOTR references, guys? You're just gonna constantly just go to the Lord of the Rings pool and just constantly pull characters and ideas from that. Is that what you do? Every single series is just pulling from J.R. Tolkien. Every series, dude.
How have we not talked about the fact that Jurassic World is having a TV series
What?
called Camp Cretaceous?
Okay, wait a minute. Let's stay on point. We'll get to that.
Oh yeah, we'll have to get that's actually, it's going to be animated. Never mind. Okay.
All right, I gotta switch over to live because I gotta find out. I need to know what this chick looks like. Okay, it's driving me nuts. I can't even find the name of the lady you're talking about right now.
Just go to IMDb. Jenna Ortega, JennaOrtega. She definitely looks like Wednesday Addams. I'll give her that. She's got the face 100%, the round face, everything.
Okay, I found her. I think is this her right here?
Yeah, that's she's got a better picture on IMDb, but
that's her. I mean, yeah, she looks like Wednesday, sort of. Yeah,
sort of. But let's grab this one right here. Oh, that go down. No, scroll down to the right. Right, one more. That one. Nope, back middle. You had it in the middle. In the middle. One more. Right there.
That one.
One in the middle.
I don't even know what you're talking about. That one?
Yes, that one. That's the one.
Oh, that's the article one too.
That's
I'm
the
so
one on IMDb.
All right.
She looks like Wednesday, and at least in that picture for sure.
Yeah, she looks like a grown-up version of Wednesday, I guess.
Which is what's happening here. You're getting a Riverdale. So let me read this a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Let's look into this deeper. I mean, the news is Catherine Zeta-Jones is playing Morticia.
Yeah, but this is way more interesting, so we can go back to that.
But the reality is that so let's go through this a little bit.
I love the fact that Catherine Zeta-Jones is playing Morticia. I love Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I know, yeah, she's been pretty awesome. So it says here the Addams Family spinoff is coming from Tim Burton, who is serving as the director and executive producer on the 8-episode series. Wow, 8 episodes is like the thing, right?
Right.
So this is, of course, coming from MGM and UA, which I find interesting that it's going to be on Netflix when MGM is now owned by Amazon, but we'll get back to that. Showrunners Al Gow and Miles Millar are also on board as executive producers, alongside with some familiar names, my friend. I won't name them all, but I will name Jonathan Glickman and Gail Berman, closely tied to what happened to Stargate. Interesting. Netflix won the bidding war for Wednesday in February of this year, with the series expected to arrive on the streaming platform sometime next year in 2022. It is the latest string in a shows that have taken classic properties and added a darker tinge to them, including Riverdale and the chilling adventures of Sabrina. So you are right on par. This is exactly where the show is going to be. It's going to be centered around Wednesday Addams and her interactions at school.
Nevermore Academy.
Nevermore Academy. That's right.
Okay, so first thing, as much as I talked trash on Sabrina initially, I ended up liking the first 2 seasons of Sabrina like a lot.
Okay.
It was I was never a fan of the original Sabrina. So when I first started watching, I was like, oh, it's the CW, hyper-sexualized, hyper-teen comedy drama thing. I'm like, I'm not interested. I kept watching because I was bored. Ended up really getting into the characters. And the first couple seasons were great. And then it went down the typical CW show where it kept trying to rehash itself. And it kept trying to grow past its own its own story and become bigger than it should be, and sort of like the stakes were always bigger, sort of higher. So it got really convoluted, and it ended in season 4. But I ended up liking the first couple seasons. I attempted to watch Riverdale. Couldn't get past the 4th episode. I just couldn't. It was like if you took Glee and you added.
You just said that. That was all I needed to hear.
Imagine you took Glee and you darkened it, increased the contrast, shortened their skirts a little bit, right? Made all the shirts a little tighter and made everybody sad. That's what Riverdale is. And I know it's based on the Archie comics or whatever. I get it.
Really?
It's based on all the characters. They're like Jughead and Betty and Veronica.
It was an upbeat, optimistic comic strip.
Right.
Not a depressing, dark.
Depressing, over-sexualized. It's horrible. I can't stand it. And I really like the Addams Family. I really hope they don't. I hope this is more like season 2 of Sabrina and not like season 3 or 4 or anything Riverdale or anything CW based. Maybe if you took a little Supernatural, Supernatural is the one show on CW I can tolerate.
Well, the good news is that it is Tim Burton attached to it. And so what does that mean for this? And that means that visually, this is going to be a stunning show. So whether you go back to The Nightmare Before Christmas or Edward Scissorhands or Coraline, you go through any of the, the original, Batman movies, anything you go back and look at, Tim Burton, it always looks really good. So I have a feeling that this is going to have a great look and feel to it. A couple other good things. Catherine Zeta-Jones is playing Morticia and Luis Guzman as playing Gomez. Boy, they're really going to have to. He's aged quite a bit. I'm surprised that they put him in this role. But
I love Luis Guzman.
Well, I do. I love him too. I love him incredibly. But I guess it makes sense. Now that Wednesday's older, that means that Gomez can also be older. So that makes sense.
Bro, this guy, he is the wrong person. Look at this. The wrong guy to be playing that role. Unless he loses like 150 pounds, dude. He is so much shorter than Catherine Zeta-Jones, too.
Well, that was okay because that was normal. Even in the Addams Family, Gomez is shorter than Morticia.
Okay.
And you're right. The classic character of Gomez, they clean him up and he can look it. He can look the part for sure.
Okay. One of my favorite episodes of Community is when they find out that Luis Guzman went to that community college.
Yeah. And
they make like the whole commercial for the show about Luis Guzman going to that college.
Oh, that's right.
But they don't want Luis Guzman to know because they don't have the rights or whatever. He ends up finding out and being okay with it. And because they love him so much, there's a statue of Luis Guzman in bronze in the middle of their school. And it just looks like him him standing there, not smiling, nothing, with a big old pot belly.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, it's tough because Raul Julia, who played the one in the other picture, the original 1993 Addams Family movie, he did such a good job reinventing that character that it's going to make it hard to see somebody else in that role. But Luis Guzman can pull it off. Did you ever see The Count of Monte Cristo?
I did. I loved that movie. Oh.
I love him as a sidekick in that to John Caviezel.
Yeah, what is that actor's name again?
From where?
Count of Monte Cristo.
John Caviezel?
Oh, yeah. You're right. Are you saying his name right?
Or Jim. Maybe it's Jim Caviezel.
Jim Caviezel.
Yeah, it's a weird name.
Whatever. That movie is fun.
He doesn't have any jobs nowadays.
Yeah, because no one can. We're like, hey, get that guy from that movie. What's his name? Jim Kramer?
I used to call him Jim Caviezel. That's what I call him.
No, he doesn't have any jobs because he came out as a right wing. So Democrat Hollywood just
up on him, yeah.
Totally what is it? Blacklisted them. But if you have not seen The Count of Monte Cristo, you are missing out. That will elevate your life. It is such a good movie.
100%.
Like, that is a movie that is really worth taking time, shutting your phone off, getting your food, and just enjoying a couple hours of just an amazing story with amazing actors.
100% true. Also, if you're looking forward to seeing this this Wednesday Addams Family spinoff series, just stay tuned to Netflix, and it should be coming out just after the new year.
All right, and you know what time it is, right, Shane?
Is the live show portion already done?
The live show portion is already done.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna keep going live, but we're gonna go live at the members section over on the Popcast Prime. Shane, where do they find that? How do they get to them? Where do they want to see the rest of the show? How would they get there, Shane?
I got it. You would go to the Popcast website.
Popcast.co/join.
Okay, there you go.
There's a longer link in the description that is an actual YouTube link, but because YouTube gives you these links that are like 150 characters long, I decided to use a shortener and just go popcast.co/join.
And if that doesn't work for you, you can go to the Popcast YouTube channel and click the join button there as well.
Right, which you can get youtube.com/thepopcast.
And if you watch this far and you're not already a subscriber of our channel, please subscribe. We do this live show once a week.
Yeah.
And we do have a lot of fun. There's a lot of info to put out.
Okay, so we are going to hop on over there. The stream is not stopping. We are simul streaming. This stream, or whatever the term is,
Simul streaming.
This stream is simply going to turn the video off, and you'll be able to hear the audio for a while until I get tired of having to push that button, and then you won't hear it anymore.
Okay.
But if you're watching and you're not subscribed, hit that button, hit the like button, all that stuff. Join us over on the other channel, please. The youtube.com/thepopcast or popcast.co/join. Come watch the rest of the stream. And that's it. I'm just going to pop that on there, and now you can't see us. Now you can only see the text on the screen, and now you can hear the audio, which is good enough.
I'm waving to the wrong people then.
It's good enough for a live. Yeah, right now Shane's Shane's taking his shirt off. He's doing a dance. He's doing a dance. You can't see it. You can't.
I'm not, guys. But Brian might. That's a good reason to come over here.
That's true. All right, now we are at the Popcast Prime exclusively, Shane, and this is when we get to do the video of the day, my friend.
Oh, yes. This one's a good one.
I actually forgot about it earlier. I was like, yeah, how do we get the video of the day, man? Oh, Kenneth LaRoque was talking a lot in the chat. I'm sorry, Ken, we missed you. All right, we love you, buddy.
Oh, so I now got to go over to that, to the Popcast Prime.
If you want to see the chat, yeah, bro.
Oh, okay. See, I have not figured this out myself. Okay.
All right, I'm going to load up this...
This is cool.
The video of the week.
Okay.
Or like I like to call it the vow.
The what?
The
Did you just
vow.
pick that up? The vow?
Oh, wait. No. Stop. My bad. My bad. Okay.
Wait, how come I just went to videos? Oh, I have to be under memberships, right?
I don't know.
Oh, I got to log in as me. That's right. Shoot. This is complicated.
It's not that complicated.
It is for me.
It's only complicated if you have 15 YouTube channels.
Properly said.
Okay, I got the video of the week loaded up. Oh,
So-
this one's a landscape one. So it's going to take up the whole screen.
Oh, look, it is there. Look at that.
What?
Oh, yeah. Ken's been talking the whole time over here.
Yeah, we're bad host.
So I should have had this one up and you should have had the other one up. That's how we should have did it. Okay, in the future.
Yes. All right. So I got to load it up. I want to show you guys the video of the week. Okay.
Okay.
Before we get into the members heavy stuff, we're going to look at the video of the week. You guys are going to, it's hilarious. So I don't want to oversell it, but here we go.
Too late.
Oh, sound.
What?
That's awesome.
That's great.
I love that so much.
Where do you find these things at?
Mostly Reddit, TikTok, Instagram, sometimes on little 4chan posts. I'm a troll.
So. The intrawebs. You got it.
Yeah, the intrawebs. Intrawebs. All right. So, yeah. Oh, you want to talk to the members?
Yeah, thank you guys. First off, members, thank you so much.
Thanks, man. You guys are awesome, bro. I love you guys. Woo!
Yes, we appreciate you actually, supporting the channel the way you guys do and giving us an opportunity to talk directly to you guys. This is like our one real opportunity to just kind of talk to people about what's going on, give them an idea of where we're going as a channel, what's going on. Brian, I know that you recently, one of the cool things, Brian, if you guys haven't seen the recent Borg video, the Borg Paradox video, if you haven't seen it, you need to look at the end, right at the end, because Brian has these amazing credits he made. If you are a associate producer or higher,
we should show them those. Maybe because maybe they watched the video, but like many people, maybe they didn't make it to the end because apparently 50% of the people that watch our videos don't make it to the end. Yeah.
So if you're an associate producer or higher, then we put your name at the end of our Popcast Prime videos. You can watch this to become a member of our channel. It's it's cheaper than a Starbucks coffee once a month. It's like $2.99, of which YouTube takes half of that. But so that allows you to watch the member to get our member stuff. But we wanted to give an extra kick to the people who donate a little more to support us. And so we're going to do things like this for them.
You head over and subscribe
for those who give a little bit more.
And we're going to start putting, I think the ones that are producers up, they get their name and their whatever link they want in the description too. I believe that we're going to do that, right?
Okay. Well, if you know,
that's what we were talking about. Anyways, here is it is. If you guys haven't seen it, here's the very end of the latest channel and you'll see what the credits look like. Here we go.
Subscribe to the Popcast Unleashed for discussions, updates, clips, and other special videos. Click on the link below. Don't want the show to end? Become a Popcast member by hitting the join button to get exclusive content, including special member live streams, Discord privileges, behind-the-scenes access, and so much more. Click join and let's hang out.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay, all right, calm down. Our intro is so obnoxious when you're not prepared for it.
That's your fault.
It just goes. It just takes over my audio senses, man.
I'm trying to see if we have more. Oh, I'm supposed to go to the back end here. I wanted to see because I